Hi everyone, it's Gwen from Rustic Diva Design, and I'm here to share with you a 6x6 baby girl mini album that I created using Echo Park's Welcome Baby Girl paper collection. I used the 6x6 paper pad, and I also used the 12x12 paper collection with the sticker sheets and the chipboard pieces and the ephemera pieces as well. So on the cover, I have some of the cut apart, or one cut apart here that I popped up on some foam. This is from the chipboard pieces, and then I just made a little collage up here with some of the ephemera and tags and some of the stickers from the sticker sheet. There's some enamel dots here. I have a couple Prima flowers, and then I cut apart this baby out of one of the cut aparts in the collection, and then added, and the baby's popped up also, and then this is from the ephemera. And then I also added from the sticker sheet, there's a couple of button stickers that I added on here as well. It's double matted. The paper I used was the artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations in a gray. I don't know exactly the color, if it's just called gray, but it is the darker one. I ran out of the white, so I used the gray instead. And then I matted it with white, and then some this paper, this green from the paper collection here. We have a 2.5-inch spine, double matted, and then just a chipboard piece from the collection. And then on the back is double matted again, and then I created a pocket. I usually don't do anything on the back of my albums, but this time I decided I wanted to make a pocket, and then just made a tag out of one of the cut aparts in the collection and just tied a ribbon. I had some ribbon from my stash that I just tied on the top, and so that just slides in here. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that I did while making this album and tell you some of the things that I learned also while doing it. So I've made 6x6 albums before. I've made several baby albums, but this one I decided to use the L hinge, as some people call it, where you don't create a hinge that you put your paper onto. It's just an extra 1/2 inch on the side of your page that glues down to the spine, and I'll show you, I'll talk about that a little bit here, so after we go through the pages. So my whole intention while making this album was to double mat, which I did, except for when I got to the first flap, of course, not thinking and getting excited about gluing things down, I forgot to double mat here, but oh well. So I did also use Tim Holtz Distress ink in Black Soot. I don't know if you can see any of that, but I used that throughout the album too. So this is just a flap, closes with a magnet. And while I was doing this, I was using a lot of my scraps. I've used this paper collection before, so I was just taking bits and pieces of scraps that I had and making them fit and work together with the pages and the flaps and pockets that I was creating. So you'll see some of that throughout. So this is not a pocket, it's just 2 different papers, because I didn't have, this one wasn't long enough, so I just put this little strip of pink on the bottom there. And then this is a pocket page. I don't have anything in this pocket, but that's a pocket page here. And then this is the first page. So when you're creating the page, you create the extra 1/2 inch for your hinge. And then this is an extra 2 inches that's just folded over and glued here and here to make a pocket. So this matting for this page is just one of the 4x4 cut aparts that I used as a mat. And then again, another piece of paper from the collection that I thought went with it, and just added it to the bottom. It's not a pocket, it's just the matting for the page. And then the second page is a belly band page. I forgot to double mat the belly band, which I wanted to do again in a hurry. This is one of the Heartfelt Creation die tags from Country Craft Creations that I used to make a photo mat with for the belly band. And I actually ended up cutting this off a bit at the bottom. You could round the corners once you cut it off. I decided not to and just left it like that. So that just slides in there. Page 3 is a photo mat page with a tab, using my tab punch, and then to mat it I cut out using my Brother Scan and Cut. And this is a magnet closure, and then this top part is open for a pocket, and I just created a tag to put in there again with some ribbon from my stash, and I left the back blank on that. Okay, this page is again using scraps. I just made a full sheet here for photos. I did add this photo mat in with the from the cut aparts, like that, and then I just added this pocket on the bottom just to break it up a bit. So there's that, and then this side has the flap that opens here and the magnet closure. This page is a flap that opens this way and this way, and I have made this page in my albums several times, but I'm going to go back and tell you what to change, what I'm going to change next time if I make this album again. So there's plenty of room for photos here, here, and then maybe some journaling up at the top. So that closes with the magnet, and then this is just a piece from the, oh, you know, those. What are these? I'll think of it in a minute. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Okay, you know, these chipboard pieces, that's it. Okay, and then the second page again is another side pocket page that when you create the page, you just add the extra 2 inches and fold over and glue here. And then again, this is a 4x4 cut apart, and then another piece of just the pattern paper to put on the bottom. And the next page is another flap. This is, I used the 4x4 cut apart again as a mat, and then added the paper at the bottom just to dress it up and cover the whole flap, obviously. And then a tab again with my tab punch. And then this is just opens here. And there is a magnet closure. I put a pocket here. And then again, a cut apart for this side with the tab, and then a flap and a pocket here. And then the last page is just one, this page is created exactly like this page, 3 and 4. I didn't add the extra sheet on the side because, I don't know, I'll tell you why in a minute. So I just added this extra 2-inch piece here for a pocket, and then matted it, and then again another 4x4 cut apart, and then some paper from the paper collection on the bottom. And then lastly on the back cover is another area. I wanted to use this cut apart somewhere in here, so it fit well on the back cover. I did have to cut it down just a little bit to make it fit. And then this just opens up as a photo mat again. And I didn't put the tabs on the bottom here like I did with the other flaps, which I wanted to do here and I forgot, see? So I just because on this one I wanted it to go all the way to the bottom because I knew I wanted to leave this open to add one of the tags again as a photo mat, and this is the full tag. I didn't cut this one down, just matted with white on the back. So that fits in here almost all the way, not quite. It sticks up a little bit at the top right there. So, and then again, the back cover with the pocket and the tag. So let me just tell you, and look what just happened. The flower fell apart. I can fix it though. I'm gonna fix it. Okay. That's what I don't like about these, some of these with the big blingies in here, because sometimes they fall off or pieces of them fall off. I've had that happen several times. But anyway, I'll fix it. Okay, so back to when you're creating these pages. So you can see this is your hinge on the left side. So the 1/2 inch is here that you glue down right here this way. And then your next page has the same size hinge that just butts up to the next one and you glue it down, okay? And so all of that was going great until I got to this page, because what I wasn't thinking about was this flap right here and the fold. So when I went to glue this page down, because this flap is all the way to the edge of, almost all the way to the edge where your fold is for your hinge, this was hindering my hinge a bit. So I had to really like work it with my hand, fold it good, you know, keep creasing it and creasing it so that it would fold down nice. And as you can see, if you're really looking close, there is a little bit of the paper from here showing right there, because I had a little crinkle when I was folding that hinge. So if I were to do this again, I would just cut this down a little bit shorter so that the flap doesn't hinder the hinge right here. Okay, so then again, another page, and it all works fine. And then what else I discovered when I was measuring, I wasn't thinking about what happens when you glue the last page down. So in my little, you know, math and figuring things out, I made a 2.5 inch spine thinking I was having 4 pages, right? Wrong. So I'm gluing these down and everything looks great. You know, here we go. And then I get to this, and that's okay. That's not the big deal. And then I come to the 4th page and I said, well, I have enough room for another page, because when you glue down the very last page, and this is from Michelle Allen, this is what I got from her video, learning how to do it this way. Her last page, when she glues it down, she folds her hinge the opposite way to glue it on top of this hinge here, so that you have this nice little edge at the end of your book, at the front and the back. So you have this showing, and then at the back it shows this much of your paper underneath as well. So it's pretty even. So when I was figuring out my pages, I had to go back and say, okay, Michelle, what did I do wrong? And I watched your video again and I said, aha, well, you got to figure out this last page when you're measuring and making your spine and whatever. But no big deal. It wasn't a big deal at all. I just made one more page to put down so that everything fits in here evenly, nice and neat. So if you're making the 6 by 6 album with a 2.5 inch spine, you can fit 5 pages in here. Normally I do a 2 inch spine. I don't know why I wanted to do 2.5. I know why, because I was thinking that I needed that extra room because of the way the hinges go, or the pages go in with the L hinge, but I didn't. So that's what I learned while making this album, using the L hinge, figuring out that very last page, you know, because you're gluing it different than your other ones. And then again, if you're making this flap, or I should say 2 flaps, because they're both going to be even on, you know, this side here, I'm going to have to cut this down so it doesn't hinder the hinge right here. Okay, other than that, it went pretty smooth. You know, I figured out the pages as I went along. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I was just kind of looking at the papers that I had left, and trying to make things, you know, mirror each other a little bit if I could, and I think it turned out okay doing it that way. And again, when I got to the last page, I kind of had to figure out something else, but this, because I had this all planned out for the back cover already. So, but this worked. So my extra page in here that I had to add. All right, so there we go. Oh, and this is the lay flat cover method from Tamara at Country Craft Creations. I don't know if I mentioned that. So, you know, when you're working with your covers, they lay down nice. Obviously, it works better before the pages are in here. So that's one thing. And then, you know, the spine too. So I usually, when I'm working, I have no idea what I'm going to put on the cover until the last. That's last for me. A lot of people figure it out first. I wish I could do that. I don't know why I can't. I just don't worry about the cover until I get all my pages decorated in the book, and then I look and see what I have and go from there. So, and it usually works out just fine. So again, so when you're, get back to that, you're working with your cover, it's laying flat before your pages are put in here. So that works out nice. And you can find that lay flat cover method on Tamara's YouTube channel, Country Craft Creations. It's in there several times. So, all right, that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do for more crafty ideas and projects. And thank you for watching.